Parent Entrepreneur Power, conversation number 139.
Parent Entrepreneur Power.
Wait, what? Entrepreneur Power!
This is the podcast for parents juggling the tough choices required for success in business while putting family first. Hi, I'm Mary Catherine Johnson, and I share the ups and downs and dirty truths of profits and potty training while chatting with successful parent entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Are you powered up? All right, Power Parents, I need for you to welcome back to the conversation a very dear person to me. We have chatted several times on her radio show. She's been on this podcast way in the beginning. I think hers is episode number 4 or 5. So we're talking a long time ago since we're at 130 something. So welcome back to the conversation, Dori DeCarlo, who is the founder of Word of Mom Radio and Safety Bags. And we're going to talk a lot about safety bags. Hey there, Dori. How are you?
Hi, Mary. I'm awesome. How are you?
I am fan-stinkin-tastic. You know, it's a gorgeous day coming to summer's winding down and fall is starting. I have a kid that already started school, so you know we get back into a routine. I can't believe it. So, whereabouts in the country are you? I know because you've been traveling around and staying in different places. Where are you right now?
I'm actually home in Connecticut.
Oh, yay!
All three of my kids have settled back into Connecticut. So I was like, you know what? It's time for me to settle back down a little. So I have a little one-bedroom apartment in a house. So, and it's lovely. You know, it's peaceful, it's quiet, but I'm continually on the road. So
I know you are.
I'm serious. Friends usually start a conversation. So it's like, so where are you now? I'm like, why? Are you coming over? And they're like, no. I said, then what difference does it make?
Yeah. Hello, you're talking to me. Be thankful.
Exactly.
Oh, my gosh. Well, hey, all right. So I'm just going to recap. You have 3 children. They're grown. You've started different businesses. You've been in theater. You've had an amazing life. And Power Parents, if you want to hear about this amazing life and some of the incredible things that Dori talks about, we're talking, you know, going back to the police knocking on your door at one time when you had your teenagers, and just all kinds of really heartwarming stories and incredible stories of a life absolutely well lived so far. And now we've got another incredible adventure in front of you because you started this original company, this Safety Bags. Word of Mom Radio is an amazing radio show where you showcase moms and mom entrepreneurs. And Safety Bags, however, was something you started way back when Columbine happened. And that was what year?
Oh, back in 2000.
Yeah.
Is when I first... Columbine happened, and our pastor read the gospel about when Jesus called the disciples. And he actually had a call to discipleship. You know, we all signed this little card. I went home that night, and I started designing this clear backpack because I actually took it seriously.
Yeah, hello.
and so we began. It took me 5.5 years to find the manufacturer that we still have. And then, you know, finally came to market. Had our crash and burn. You can hear all about it on episode 4.
Yes.
Because I don't have to go, you know. And I kind of put things on the back shelf with the clear bags and backpacks, and I began Word of Mom Radio to give women like me, working from home, a voice and some validation, because we all know what it is to hear when are you going to quit this and get a real job. And about 1.5 years ago, I started rebranding, and that's what took us from S1 to Safety Bags, because nobody knew what S1 was.
Right.
Safety Bags is pretty self-explanatory. And again, couldn't find the funding, couldn't find this, because banks will give you everything when you don't need it.
Of course.
But, you know, until you are at that point, you're basically up Cheese Creek without a cracker, and I don't want to blow any smoke up your nose. I don't care how great your business is. Trust me, banks aren't there to help you. Banks are there when you don't need their money, then they're happy to give you whatever they can. Unless you have absolutely impeccable credit, but I don't, because, I have kids and who signed loans for cars, and you know how that is.
Right.
But whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So since I couldn't find all the funding we needed, I decided to pick 2 bags, create a niche market, use that as our springboard to the rest of our product line. So I took our mini backpack and our mini messenger bag, registered stadiumbags.com, because professional and college sports, anything larger than the palm of your hand, you have to have a clear bag. And our mini backpack and our mini messenger bag fit the size requirements and everything else. So we were at the Education Expo in March in Nevada. We had been there the year before, and our funding didn't come through, but we had already been there. People knew who we were. So now this year, in something that we were at their 100th anniversary, it's something that's that old, people want to see that you're coming back,
Right.
that you're not a one and done.
Right.
So this year, we gained a lot of traction. Amazon came to see us, and then we've become our stadiumbags.com. We sell on Amazon as an Amazon-sponsored product, soon to become an Amazon-sold product. But our school line, when it's finally available, our safety bags line is actually going to be sold by and shipped by Amazon.com.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really exciting.
Yes.
So we met with Amazon. Unbeknownst to me, Family Magazine was there. We got nominated for Family Choice Awards and won for our stadium bags in May. We won for, like I said, the Family Choice Award for product and, for kids and parents, which, was like, I was so excited until I actually realized Parenting Magazine, my kids are grown and gone, so I'm out of that realm at this point again,
right,
and
right.
I was watching, believe it or not, I was watching Breaking Bad, and the pivotal episode in season 5. For those of you who haven't seen it, I'm not going to do a spoiler alert, but in the basket there was Parenting Magazine. Now we all know about product placement and everything else.
Oh yeah.
That's when I was like, holy crap! That's when I realized really what Parenting Magazine was all about, and the fact that we just won this Family Choice Award, and this is an award that's going on for 22 years.
Yes,
exactly.
Big deal.
Huge
Very
deal.
big deal. People follow Parenting Magazine and their awards very,
Right.
very closely.
Exactly. So, huge big deal. So we get awarded that in May. Then we launch on Amazon June 3rd. June 7th, I get a phone call from Kevin Harrington Associates and as seen on TV.pro that somebody brought our products to their attention and they wanted to set up a conversation about a possible media segment. So I'm like, okay, I'm thinking they're doing something they want to give away, whatever.
Yeah.
So, they call and they actually wanted samples of our bags to see if we would meet their quality control. So sent down samples of our stadium bags and have a meeting set up the following week on the phone and get on the phone with their VP of production. And she was like, I have 2 questions before I say anything. She said, what kind of a material is this? And I told her it was a 5 mil 20 gauge temperature treated PVC vinyl. Anything thicker and it would crack. It's temperature treated to 150 degrees above zero and 66 degrees below. We worked with chiropractors. Everything's lined in fabric, blah, blah, blah. Then she asked about manufacturing, and I told her the story of 5.5 years of searching for a manufacturer that could not only make the quality product that we wanted, but that conformed with the Fair Wage Federation, environmental laws, child labor laws. I could go to a different factory and make our bags probably $4 cheaper. And I never would because I don't want to work with a sweatshop. I want to know that the people that are working with us are being paid really well. And they're a family-owned factory. They have 11 different factories. And the factory we're working with right now could do 1 million pieces in 4 months. if we had to.
Wow.
And we ship through Amazon. Our stuff is fulfilled through Amazon. So even if we brought in 1 million products, it's not like it would blow up Amazon.
You're right.
So exactly, so I made sure, our infrastructure's in place. And she was like, well, I'm going to tell you honestly, we have been looking for clear bags. We've rejected everything we've gotten, and we've never seen anything like your product. So we are now doing commercials with them. We're doing a 30-second commercial and a 60-second commercial. The 60-second commercial, Kevin Harrington will actually introduce, and then it'll be seen on AsSeenOnTV.com for a year on the front page.
Oh my gosh.
But we own the commercial. I know. Actually, today when I get off at 2 o'clock today, we have our production meeting to see when we're going to set up the shoot for the commercial. And then I'm flying down to Florida for that. And then was invited to the Innovators Think Tank. Kevin Harrington does this think tank a couple of times a year. It's by invitation only. And I'm meeting with him. I'll be there October 3rd, literally sitting at a table with Kevin Harrington and a bunch of other very high-powered people and doing my elevator pitch, which it's so funny. People are like, oh, you need a 2-minute elevator pitch. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's not hard.
Yeah, right.
For those of you who listened to the last episode, we actually, in Connecticut, the Secretary of State ran a small business contest, an elevator pitch contest, and I won for the state.
Yes.
And then from that, I won, an advertising package on CBS Radio. I did it in another place. I won a $10,000 coaching package. I'm like, an elevator pitch?
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
That's right.
And it's so funny because then afterwards, then you actually get to sit. They'll pick pitches. And when we finally decided to do the commercial, I actually threw all my stuff in the car and drove down to the studios in Coral Gables because I wanted them to see the rest of our product line.
Right.
I if they were blown away by these 2 bags, I wanted them to see the rest of them. And I'm going to tell you, Mary, very honestly, I haven't had all my products in one place in a very long time.
Right.
Because the different conferences, I'll take this,
Right.
We have 20 different bags now.
Oh my gosh.
I started with 4.
Yeah. We got to take.
We started with 4 bags.
I got to take this back now, Dori, because this is you and I. I've been following you on this journey since I met you. Gosh, I don't even remember how long ago, but we're talking at least.
You're writing your
5.
book.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking like 2005 maybe, or around there, and so it's been a long time. And
right.
And it has been an amazingly rocky, exciting, then depressing, then invigorating, then oh my gosh, where did it all go? It's been an amazing journey, and it's a journey that almost every entrepreneur goes through. It isn't a straight shot straight up. It is hills and valleys and then canyons, and then you got to climb all the way back out even just to see the sun. So I know one of the things we talked about the first time we chatted was business and how you are so passionate about this. And the business side, you wanted to make sure you got help because there were a few people that, were not exactly the greatest people to work with, and you might have had situations where it was a little more difficult to handle the business side. When you keep saying we, tell me who we is.
We, it's myself and my partner, Teresa Schroeder, who was the first person, so many years ago, that I called when I had this idea. I said, I'd love for you to come in on this with me. I don't know when we'll ever make any money or anything else, but, I would love for you to be part of this. And I had 3 other people that have fallen by the wayside since then, but she has never left my side. She has always been there through everything. And the funniest was when we were having these conversations with the people from AsSeenOnTV.pro and them saying, who does your marketing? And I was like, I do. And she's like, wow, I'm on your Facebook page. Who does these great graphics? I'm like, I do. And Teresa's punching me. She's just like, because she does finance. She's the back end. She's Seller Central. There's a problem. Go figure this out. I don't want to have to deal with that stuff. I'm good at what I
Right.
know how to do. Like
Right.
you're good at what you know how to do. But so that is the way. And you know what? Even if it were by myself, I could never say I anyway.
Yeah, we just don't, because
Yeah.
it's bigger than us, right? It's way bigger than us. And just for the power parents listening, when we talk about stadium bags, we talk about clear bags. These are backpacks, messenger bags that are clear plastic. So everything inside can be seen. And that's the point
Right.
of the safety today. And that's the reason it's called safety bags, is because you can carry these bags and things can be seen. People can't hide a gun in there or hide a knife in there, or it's not, I mean, they could wrap it up in something, I'm sure, if somebody really wanted to do something, but these are clear bags so you can see what's inside, and there aren't little hidden pockets in there that you can just hide something in the lining and things like that. So it's vital for this to be used, especially now. And I just want to point out 2000 to 2016, 16 years in the making. You have been promoting, then pulling back, and then coming back into and having opportunities and really trying to continue this journey because you were so passionate about it from that very first day. And now we're talking in the span of how many months that you started.
Right.
When did you start? When did you actually rebrand? I know that was like over a year ago when you actually rebranded.
Right, but we March of last year, February of last year, of 2015 is when we rebranded to Stadium Bags. To safety bags. Stadium Bags, I actually registered and launched on my birthday, November 14th.
2015.
And here we launched Stadium Bags the day Paris happened.
Yes. Got it. So
And I hadn't been online because I was working all night long getting this stuff up, and at midnight I hit launch. And then we had a problem. Our shipment was delayed, so we had flown stuff in for things that sold before Christmas, but I stopped doing any publicity on it because we didn't know when the bags were going to get here.
right.
So it was like, okay, and then we went to the Education Expo. So technically, it all launched March 9th, 2016. And that's where, when I was talking to them at As Seen on TV, they were like, wait a minute, June 3rd, Friday.
Yeah.
You launched on Friday. I'm like, yeah. They were like, who does your marketing? Seriously, look me. But they were like, Friday, really, Friday.
Yeah.
So you know what? Here's the thing, and this is the reality, Mary. No one sees what goes on under the iceberg.
That's right.
They see that bit of ice above the surface. They don't see the 500 pounds of ice.
Yes.
I mean, feet of ice that has driven this now
Yes.
to the top
Yes.
of the water.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing. And you know what? If I can say one thing to you, anybody listening that has an idea that is, you've given up on, but you keep pulling it back because you just know somewhere deep inside, don't give up. Because if you want to stop starting over, stop giving up. Don't give up. You may have to take a break. Sometimes it means retooling. It means stepping back. There's nothing wrong. At this point now, what is going on, I feel like I'm just holding on for the ride.
Exactly. But you built the roller
remarkable.
coaster. You built the roller coaster
Well, there
over
you
the last
go.
16
Yeah.
years, right? You did it.
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, you did. And now you got to hang on because you built it that long ago. So that's what I'm talking about. We're talking 5 months. 5
Right.
flipping months between when
Oh,
you
no,
hit
are you
launch
kidding?
and now.
Well, I have news for you. In May, I got a call from these wonderful women from the Celebrity Red Carpet event that's happening in L.A. September 24th. It is the 5th anniversary, and they bring awareness to car seat safety and child products that are promoting safety for our children. And let's face it, in this country, celebrities matter.
That's
And
right.
their opinions matter, and if they like a product, it matters, and things like that. And so they called me to see if I would donate bags for the swag bags.
Right.
Donate our stadium bags, 50. And that's how the conversation began. And the conversation ended with me donating bags, having a booth, broadcasting Word of Mom radio live from the red carpet, and they're actually letting me speak
Wow.
about school safety and our product.
That is amazing. Now, who are you taking with you to that event? Because what would be amazing is to do a Facebook Live from that event, from your page.
Oh, I'm going to do tons of Facebook Live.
Yeah.
I actually decided I'm driving cross country to do this rather than fly, because I actually put in a proposal to the Marriott, because I'm Marriott, rewards member, whatever.
Yeah.
I put in a request for sponsorship to see if they'll sponsor me with hotel rooms on the way to LA. Then I already have a little place that I'm staying in LA. I went on Airbnb and booked a little cabin for myself. I'm getting there on the 21st. The event's on the 24th. I leave on the 26th, and then I drive to Florida to meet Kevin Harrington at this Innovators Think Tank.
I am so,
like,
oh my gosh, I cannot wait to watch this go. I just cannot wait to watch you do this.
How much fun is this?
Oh my gosh, yes.
How much fun is this?
It is, yeah. It's, and Power Parents, listen to what Dori's talking about, because you really, this is a journey that you never know. You really don't know exactly when it's going to come to fruition. You just don't.
Right.
Because you just have to keep plugging, and like she says, don't give up. The day you give up is the day you guarantee you won't come to that journey end and see it come to fruition.
There you go. That's exactly right. The day you give up is the day you can guarantee that it won't be successful. Or guess what? Or somebody else will do it.
That's right. That's
right. Because, it's funny. I had said to the woman that we deal with at Amazon, when I was first considering putting stadium bags on Amazon, I'm like, if you Google stadium bags, I mean, listing upon listing upon listing comes up. I mean, I put in stadium bags, and we've registered stadiumbags.com. I was on page 97 and did not find our website yet, okay, on Google. And I said to Amanda from Amazon, I'm like, there are a ton of bags, stadium bags on Amazon. She was like, anyone can sell on Amazon. You're right.
Right.
She said, you have the only clear bags Amazon sells.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And so this morning, I was like, wonder where Stadium Bags is now.
Oh, my goodness.
And I did it on my phone, and we're on page 2.
Big difference.
In a Google search. You think?
And that was how long? And when? How long ago?
And we registered Stadium Bags November 10th. But really have not actively been promoting it. We've been promoting it on Facebook, kind of just keeping our name out there and whatnot, but we really have actively been promoting it since June 3rd. So, because our stadiumbags.com website takes you to our Amazon store.
Oh, yay. Okay, so now take me through, because we, people in the audience are listening and they're hearing us talk about this journey, and it's kind of, ethereal, it's just kind of in a bubble. It's kind of out there. So ground it for us, if you will. So we've talked about the time frame. We've talked about all the things you've done, but from a business standpoint, from the fact that, that you've started this company, you got manufacturing, you had to invest your own money or find partners to actually create this product, because we're talking about, each unit has to cost, $10 at least to manufacture. Right. So if you manufacture 100 pieces, you're talking about $1,000 right there. And that's only 100.
Right, and your minimum, and our minimum is actually 2,000 of each piece.
Yeah, so there you go. So
because you're bringing, you have the cost factor. Go ahead.
Yeah. So so when you rebranded and you decided, thank you so much for saying that you decided to niche market, to take just your stadium bags instead of trying to push all of them. You took two bags and went, okay, that's it. I am going to invest my energy, time, resources in these 2 bags. Perfect. Because then you took just those 2 and you could put all your resources into those 2 and manufacturing those. So if you have a 2,000 minimum, for
Right.
each. Then there's
we did,
yeah,
right.
4,000 bags minimum that you have to manufacture at
Right.
one point, and then you got to try and go sell those. It's not like a a private label or a drop ship where someone just can buy one off online and then it's
Right.
manufactured. You can't do that. So you have to have a lead time. You have to get all those 4,000 bags manufactured, and you have to put the money up for those 4,000 bags, and then hope you can
Right.
sell them. So from a business standpoint, this isn't just something to sneeze at. This is a pretty good investment. I mean, we're not talking you had to invest $1 million, but you still had to find the resources and create the resources to just do the minimum. How did you do that?
Right. Well, it's kind of ironic that as I said, it actually, this all was birthed out of a Christian mission out of my church, and friends from my church. Actually, we were talking one time, and they were like, well, you know what? I was telling them, we got turned down for an SBA loan, and here I'm trying to find, $50,000 and da-da-da-da-da, blah, 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 blah. And they were like, we can't do 50, but we could do 10. And that started us. I went to our manufacturer. I was like, here's what I can put down. Our manufacturer has worked with us, and we've actually been talking about co-branding and them coming in as our manufacturing partner. So rather than them setting, the more you manufacture, your cost goes down because the cost of materials drop to little to nothing. So rather than them of course, they'd always be making a profit, but if they come in as our manufacturing partner, then they would make a larger profit, and why shouldn't they?
Right.
I have no problem co-branding with them because they are our manufacturer, and I give them credit all the time. So I have no problem trying to figure out how we can blend our brand. We don't have a household name brand yet.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter what, and I don't really, as you know from me, I don't really care what I give away.
Right.
If it means that we can all do something, so actually Wendy just got back from China. I'll be calling her this week to sit down with her and see what they decided, because I'm just thinking about going in October 3rd. It's such a different pitch when you have a manufacturing partner.
That's right. Yes. And so they'll get a little bit of... Go ahead.
I want to be able to say that we have X amount of other products already in production.
Right.
For our school line, as opposed, and if not, this is an innovator think tank, and Kevin Harrington was one of the original sharks on Shark Tank, and that's what always cracks me. It just makes me laugh. People have said to me forever,
yes,
oh, you should take this on Shark Tank. You should go on Shark Tank. And I'm like Shark Tank's just waiting for you to call them, first off. There's years of a waiting list, and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. And the reality is 4 days out of the gate, a shark found us.
Yes. Yes, and that you're right, because that's a whole television show. You have to sign off all kinds of things.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, you really
Crazy
do.
stuff.
It's not as awesome as people think. It's a pretty restrictive process because they're doing a television show. It's totally different. So, but yeah, to go into a think tank is totally different and much more beneficial in that respect. If you're looking for real change and funding and possibility for your business. If you want to become famous, go to Shark Tank. But if you just want to do the best for your business, a think tank is much, much more productive for you. So you got this original, your church came together and helped. And was that in the very, very beginning, Dori?
It was in the beginning. It was the next step. So there were 3 different people in my church that just kind of became instrumental in paving the way for us, and funding us and giving us the what we needed, and then we've gone on from there.
And did you actually create contracts?
Now we're talking to the banks. Pardon?
Yeah. Did you actually get contracts with these people so that when now this is starting to explode, they'll feel like, I mean, I know you'll take care of them because I know who you are, but but was this actually contractual, or was it just here's the money?
we wrote up a little agreement. My initial friends were like, this is for 3 years interest free and we don't want any money from it,
Right.
which I could never do. But that's, I'm happy to agree to their terms, but I know what this company is going to be. I mean, when I brought down our product, the president of the media division that is, doing our commercials looked at this and was like, oh my God, you're a rock star. This is a global product line that's ready to go right now. I'm like, yes, it is.
Yes.
I said the only thing that's ever stopped us was funding. He's like, that's not going to be a problem long, and it's so, this is where, whether you believe in God or the universe, whatever energies you ascribe to, when it is that time in the universe, that's why I said now I feel like I'm just holding on for the ride.
Yeah.
It really is. Every day I have another pinch me moment.
Yes.
I'm serious.
I can't even tell
crazy.
You how amazingly excited I am and so thankful that you are finally receiving the benefits of all the amazing work and care and love and belief that you have put into this product. It is because it's so heartwarming, Dori. It really is so heartwarming for me to see this. And I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what happens next because it's
you and me both.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I know.
I can't wait. I'm getting 2:00 today. I'll know when we're going to be filming because I'll be flying down for that. And then we have our annual glamping trip, Labor Day weekend. I cannot wait to completely unplug, leave my cell phone in the car because all 3 of my kids will be there. So my brothers laugh. They're like, you have an online business and you're happy to leave your phone in the car. I was like, my kids are all here.
Yeah, who
That's
cares?
That's the only reason I need a cell phone.
That's
right. As long
right.
as my kids are safe, I'm good with everything else. And I'll be back in a few days because once I get plugged back in, September 6th, we go back live with Word of Mom Radio. And I will be broadcasting every day and doing Facebook Live and everything else. And then I'm going to hit the road. I'm going to take a nice, long, leisurely cross-country drive by myself. And if the Marriott says yes, then I'll map out my trip accordingly. If they say no, I'll map out my trip accordingly because I'm the queen of Priceline. So either way, I'm fine. And then I was laughing with Teresa. I actually went on Airbnb, and I got a cabin in the woods in the hills in California about 30 minutes outside of downtown L.A.
Yeah.
Because I figure I'm going to have a car. The event's on a Saturday. It's Sony Studios.
Oh, my.
I know.
Isn't Airbnb amazing? I just love that thing.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I love it.
It's wonderful. And you know what? I don't like to eat out. I'd much rather go to Trader Joe's, buy some really good food, go back. And this place is so beautiful. It's got its own little decks. It's like 50 steps to go up to it. It's just in the mountains. Yeah. In the mountains. I'm like, okay.
Airbnb
if I
is
have
incredible.
To be in L.A., why the heck not?
Yeah, why are you going to stay in some thing down in the valley in the middle of a mess?
Inexpensively.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? I'm paying for the 6 days that I'm there. I'm paying what I would pay for 2 nights.
Yeah.
In a hotel in downtown L.A.
That's
Forget
right.
it.
That's right.
So, but and it's so funny. My daughter, my daughter's 24, and I keep telling her I just want to grow up and be just like her. And she was so excited. She's like, Mommy, I'm so happy for you, and I'm so excited. And I was like, be happy for us because this is, it's for all of us. And she goes, yeah, but, even we were like, come on, Mom, when are you going to give up on this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, well, sweetie, just remember that stubborn streak you have came from somewhere other than you. Just to remind you, that tenacious little bone you have in your body.
Yeah, Mama gave you that. Yeah, so I don't care how many times you have to tell me when you're going to give this up. I ain't giving it up.
You know what? I'm serious, and I'm really. I actually, my little brother, my youngest brother. I have very, very successful brothers, and my brother started in on me about this commercial and am I sure what I'm doing? Blah. And I was like, you know what? Can I say something? He goes, what? I was like, shut the F up.
Yes.
He was like, what? I said, you heard me.
Yes.
You've never wanted to help me,
Right.
but you've got all the advice in the world for me and everything I'm doing wrong and blah, 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 blah. So you know what? If I want your opinion, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't want to talk to you about my business anymore.
Yep.
None of your business.
Yep.
And he was like, okay. But it was so funny because I could see him on the other side of the phone.
Yes.
It was like I know his head kind of was like, whoa.
What? Yeah.
Exactly. But I was just, shut the I'm serious. I have listened to all of the naysayers, to all of the this, to all of the that, and I have never wavered. I could have lessened the quality of our product. I could have gone to a cheaper factory. But you know what? I'm not going to be a successful person 10 years from now finding out that a 7-year-old is sitting behind a sewing machine.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I refuse to, change the quality of anything. I just kept designing new stuff. And like I said, we have 20 different bags. I was in shock.
Yeah, when you saw all those. But, I've got to tell you that because, to the people listening, we do have to give things up in order to go on this journey. There are things that we have to sacrifice. But we all have to make that decision, don't we, about what exactly it is we're going to sacrifice. Most of us sacrifice sleep. Right. We sacrifice sleep, right? We sacrifice our nights out or our coffee every week or whatever to really scrimp and save and do what we got to do. But there are certain things that if you sacrifice them, you're really sacrificing your product, your future, and the future of other people. And so those are things you just can't sacrifice. The quality of your product, where it's manufactured, all those things, you just can't do it because, or you could if you really wanted to, but then you can't sleep at night because I know you're not gonna want to make money off of that.
Exactly. It's funny because somebody had actually said to me about being in one of the larger chains. I don't want to use their name, but that big chain out there. And I said, we could never be in there. We could never be there because we could never meet their unit costs. So I can confidently say we'll never be on their shelves. Right. And they looked at me, actually crossed their arms and said, really? Confidently. You can And how come you can confidently say that? I said, because the only way for us to do it would be to not only downgrade the quality of the product, which is fine. We could go to a 3 mil instead of a 5 mil. That'll only save us 50 cents. Right. In order to cut a good $4 off production, we'd have to go from our factory to a sweatshop.
Right.
And that is something I'll never do. And I don't care if you tell me, wow, you're passing up $100 million in sales.
Right.
I don't really care.
That's right.
It's never anything I could miss because it would be never anything that I would want.
That's it.
And they would look at me and it was like, wow, you're like the most interesting person I've ever met. No, I'm not.
Dori, yes, you are. I am so inspired by you. I just have to tell you, because I've been watching from the sidelines, and I know we've chatted here and there, and I chatted with you when you were going to rebrand, and we had a little conversation there, and I'm so inspired because first off, I just love chatting with you. It's just a blast. But secondly, I have a kindred feeling to you. You have an amazing life. I know it's been rocky. I know it's been difficult at times, but you don't waver in your beliefs, in your values. And yes, this is business. Yes, we need to make money. Yes, all those things. But there are certain values that you just don't compromise when you're doing that, no matter what. And you don't. And I am just so flippin' happy that someone so incredibly grounded in her values is going to have an incredible success. And I could not seriously wish it for anyone more amazing than you. And I know you're just going to go, whatever. I'm so happy. I just am so happy watching from the sidelines going, yes, we finally have one for our side.
You know what? I have to say, Mary, that you're not the first person that said that to me.
I wonder why.
It's like, finally. I have friends my Facebook friends have been so amazing, and where it's like, oh my God, I want to cry. And,
I know.
And people sharing our posts and now it's the most exciting thing for me is to actually be funded.
Yeah.
The fact that now sitting down with the banks going, fine, now we'll collateralize a line of credit for ourselves. Mm-hmm. I said, and it insults my intelligence that we have to borrow our own money.
Yeah, exactly.
It
borrow
really
against our own
aggravates
value.
me to no end.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. But I'm like, if that's the case, then I want you guys to do an unsecured credit card for us.
Right.
You've got to meet us somewhere in the middle, or you know what? I'm going to pull all this money out of this bank. I'm going to go to a different bank, and I'm going to keep knocking on banks' doors until one bank finally says, fine,
yeah,
we'll give you a credit card.
Right.
I haven't had a credit card. I'm serious. I haven't had a credit card in 16 years. Yeah. Well, my children's dad, when my children's father and I split up, he had lived off my credit. I cut up all my credit cards. I have not had a credit card in 15 or 16 years.
Yeah.
If I don't have cash, I don't need it.
Yep.
And the way
right.
I feel when I had a credit card, if I charged $5,000, I paid it at the end of the month.
Right.
I never did anything I couldn't have, couldn't afford.
Right.
So it's the same way I feel about this. I'm like, let's just use the credit card and then just pay it off at the end of the month.
Right.
Because it's the same thing with a line of credit. If we use our line, I said, let's use the line of credit and replenish the line of credit, because that way they'll finally give us credit.
Right. And
so, you have to get creative.
Yes.
And that's this whole thing out there. When you are out there, you have to get creative.
Yes.
You have to. It's an amazing thing. And I'm not a political person at all, but I've been following everything going on, period. And one of the things that Hillary Clinton said really resonated with me when she was talking about small businesses and how many great ideas die in the parking lot of a bank.
That's right.
And boy, did that hit home on such a level.
Right.
Because it's really true. Gone are the days that you banked in a bank and they knew you, so they want to help you with your business.
Right. Yeah, it is.
Oh, my God.
And you want to talk about values gone. We could talk about that. But, I got to tell you, I did an interview with someone. It hasn't been published yet, but he was talking about creating credit for your business. And one of the things he suggested, it was making sure that you don't have your credit line or your credit card or anything like that for your business tied to your personal Social Security number. Because then Correct. It goes to your credit. You want to make sure that
Correct.
It's in your EIN number for your business.
Correct.
Then you get business
That's exactly
credit.
Right.
Yay. I'm so glad.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, because then it builds your business credit. Yeah.
Exactly. I could care less about my personal credit.
Right.
I won't have personal credit forever.
Yeah.
Because I'm still digging out of stuff. But I don't care, and that I don't care about.
Right.
I could care. You know what? I put my stuff in storage. I've been on the road for 4.5 years. This is the first time I'm in actually my own little apartment, and not because I've been kind of living a life of service. And we talked about that the last time.
Right.
And just traveling where friends needed help, and I was living on Long Island in my own little apartment in a house, but like the person who was there, I was helping because they were sick, and I helped get him healthy and on his feet. And now I didn't need my help anymore, and it was time for me to leave. And I came back, and I am in the perfect little place for me. I'm 10 minutes from my business partner, 15 from my son, 20 from my daughter, and an hour and 20 from my son and his wife. But that's just because they live up at the other end of Connecticut. They bought farmland, so they're, no matter where you are, you're a couple hours from them.
Yeah.
But I am so at peace. And now, and you know what? That's the whole thing. This is where, for me, and again, I gave this up to God a long time ago. Mm-hmm. When I got on that plane to go to the Education Expo, we paid the booth that morning. And I was flying out there whether we had paid for it or not. Mm-hmm. Because they already knew me, they already loved our product, they worked with us to make sure we were in the program and everything else, and that was my leap of faith.
Right.
My cousin Joy, I'm like out there getting paid for a freelance job that I did so I could then do our posters and everything for the booth. And and my cousin was like, I would lose my mind. I'm like, I just have faith, so I never lose anything.
That's right.
You know, when I registered stadiumbags.com, it was a premium site. It was $880.
Oh boy.
And I said to Teresa, I was like, Teresa, if I register this site, it's leaving $87 in the bank. $87 in our account. She was like, we got to do it. I was like, oh my God. And I hit the button and I did it. Now, 3 days ago, we just registered safetybags.com.
Ah, another
which,
premium,
again,
I'm sure.
Yeah, $3,600.
Oh my gosh.
But at $14 to renew. On the flip side, one of the reasons that a site becomes a premium, not only because somebody else had owned the domain name, that's one thing, they go by how many times that term is searched.
Right.
Which is why stadiumbags.com was on page 2 now
so
when you search stadium bags in Google.
Right.
So, and the cool thing, you know, because I'm with GoDaddy, I'm going to tell you right now, best place to ever go when you're doing your site. They are so wonderful. And I now have a point person there.
Oh, yay.
Who was like, you know what, here's my stuff. You send me an email. I'll call you. And, you know, and if I don't know how to do it, I'll find who can. So, again, you know, pinch me again.
Yeah.
How many companies like that do you know that somebody says, come to me first about what you've got a point person on this, what you're doing is going to be too big.
Well, especially
you know, so
with somebody like
care.
GoDaddy. Yeah, I mean, GoDaddy's done what's the football game? The
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Thank you very much. They've done Super Bowl commercials for criminy sakes. So well, this is big. But you know, I have to comment on what you just said. It has to do with just being happy now. Not waiting until you hit it big to be happy, not going after these goals and going, well, when Stadium Bags finally takes off, then I'll be happy. But for now, I just got to buckle down and just, you know, work and not look up and see where I'm living and see what I'm doing and be of service. It is a testament to the fact that you be happy now, put your faith in what you're doing now, and know that it will pay off when it needs to pay off.
That's right.
So
you know what? I think people have a hard time doing that, Mary, because society isn't about the journey. It's about the destination.
Right.
You know, everybody wants to get where they're going, and they forget to enjoy where they are. You know, believe me, it has not been easy, but I never even entertained, that's it, I just got to give this up.
Yeah.
I never have.
Right.
I never, ever, ever have. I mean, I have spent literally my last dollar on something. I know I can earn another dollar.
Right.
I'm not, you know, I'm a minimalist. So I've never been about, you know, having great things. And it's not about that. I don't think about how much money I can make. I think about what we can do with the money we're going to make.
Right.
You know, how
and
many
the difference you're making right now. And look at the service you're giving right now. It's the difference you're making now and spending your life right now and enjoying the journey. I agree 100%. So let me just ask you one final question. What one piece of advice would you give someone sitting out there going, you know, I'm just getting tired of working this thing and trying to make it work and it just isn't working. What one piece of advice would you give that person?
Step back and look at it objectively. Really step back, look at what you're trying to do. This is exactly what I had to do. I looked at our product. I looked objectively at what I was trying to do and if it was going to actually happen. And I looked at what I've designed. I looked at the quality of it. I looked at the climate, and I was like, you know what? It's going to take however long it takes, but I know I have a global product line, and I am never going to give up on this. And that's, you know, how I felt. But really be honest with yourself, because that's the hardest thing, really being honest with yourself.
Yes.
And if you really know in your heart, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It doesn't matter how many people you hear no from. It's like Thomas Edison.
Right.
10,000 tries. And they were like, wow, you failed 10,000 times? He's like, no, I succeeded 10,000 times in learning how not to make a light bulb.
That's right. That's right.
Attitude is everything.
Yes, and what you did was take a piece. Instead of making the whole thing, it's like the train.
Right.
You know, let's kind of, the train isn't moving. It's taking too much fuel because it's too big. Let's scale it down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find the most essential parts and move that. And then the train will move. So,
and you know what? That's
gosh.
exactly what we did. We like I said, we picked the 2 bags, and as funding came in and stuff, you know, my partner was like, "Oh, let's do this." I was like, "No, let's keep our eye on the ball." What we decided was these bags, we're going to fund more bags.
Right.
So now let's put our efforts into creating the marketing that is going to sell these bags.
Right.
You know, we could go to this think tank. Who knows what's going to happen?
Right.
You know, who knows what's going to happen when I get off the phone? I have no idea. I'm serious.
Oh, that's so fun. I'm so happy.
It really is.
Yes.
So that, you know what, just for the sheer adventure of it, don't give up.
Yeah.
But if there's a way, maybe not to, you know, I decided, all right, fine, we can't do it all. We'll do this. So start somewhere. But the important thing is to start, even in that little somewhere, make sure you have a plan. Don't just go, all right, well, I'm going to try this. Make sure that plan is really thought out. Write out your own little business plan for yourself. It doesn't have to be 80 pages long or anything else. Map out some kind of an outline of what you're going to do and where you want to go, and then backtrack how you're going to get there.
Oh my gosh. Dori, the time flies when I talk to you. I have such a blast. I cannot wait to watch you on Facebook. I'm going to make sure that this episode gets published well before any of these things start happening for you, especially in the September area, so that we can all follow you and we can get as many fans going through this cross country as we possibly can. So,
oh my gosh.
I can't wait.
So crazy.
I can't wait. I just can't wait. I'm so excited. If there's anything else that I can do for you, you know I'm right there. But, you know, in the meantime, you bet. Enjoy the journey, and we'll be chatting soon, I'm sure, and I'll be watching for you on TV, that's for sure.
Mary, thank you so much for having me on again. It's always such a pleasure to actually get to come on your show and have the fun to be on this side of the conversation, you know?
Okay, Power Parents, I so hope you enjoyed that conversation. As you can tell, and I won't even say it too many more times, except this last one. I love talking to Dori. She is a blast. I just love chatting with her. She has so many things, amazing things going on now, and I am so happy for her, as I've already said many times. So if you want to follow her journey across the country and you want to see and hear exactly what's going on now that she is actually on the move, going from Connecticut to Southern California for the red carpet event that she mentioned, just go to blogtalkradio.com/word of mom radio, and you will be able to follow along this incredible journey. And if you go to any stadium, if you are a baseball fan, a football fan, a soccer fan, a wrestling fan, a whatever fan in any kind of sport, you have to go to stadiumbags.com, because that's the product we've been talking about. That is the incredible product she developed 16 years ago, as she had the idea for, and it is finally coming to fruition. So if you are discouraged and you just think you can't do it, but you're plugging along and you're doing your best, and you know and you believe that the world needs what you have to offer, use Dori as your example of perseverance. And just don't give up. And for everything we've talked about in the show notes and any links, you know where to go. ParentEntrepreneurSuccess.com/PEP139. And you know, I'm going to say that along the way, you also must enjoy the journey. To get powered up for your day, just go to ParentEntrepreneurPower.com and listen to any one of the over 100 episodes we've had so far with amazing entrepreneurs just like you. It might just help you feel like a grown-up again.